me, classics like Big Wheel and American Graffiti always stuck. So I headed to LA to figure out the art of creating the perfect movie car. My first stop was to see Eddie Paul at EP Industries. Eddie's a car guy who got into the movie business by accident.
I was always interested in cars, vehicles, motorcycles, things like that, things that make noise and burn fuel. So I rented a shop in El Segundo, small shop, and within the first week of being there, a guy walked in a suit with a briefcase, sat on my desk and said, "Can you build 28 cars in 2 weeks for a movie called Grease?" And I didn't know what Grease was. I thought it was a cooking show. So I said, yeah, could do that. He said we need some good guy cars, some bad guy cars.
What was in the briefcase?
$100 bills, a bunch of them. And you know, to this day, I don't know how much was there, because I just started taking from it as I needed it. And
to build the cars?
Yeah, well, to hire people.
Is there a formula for the number of cars that they need for the star car in the movie?
No, and it's usually not a set number. Like I worked with a guy at Universal, Dave Martyr, that him and I, we don't even communicate much other than he calls, I need 50 cars, and he'll call them a couple weeks later, they're done.
They give me a script, I read the script, I have meetings with the producers, the director, the stunt guys, figure out what type of car we need. And once they make that decision, then it's my responsibility to get it done. And you know, somebody like Eddie is just invaluable.
How does the process work? Do they just give you a concept and say, Eddie, we want a car to do this? Mm-hmm. Or do they bring you the drawings, the specs?
It's a combination of all of those. It depends who you work with. Like I say, with Dave, he just calls me, tells me kind of what he wants, and we know each other good enough that I just build it. But then I've had some people call up that don't have a clue in the world what they want, and you could tell on the phone call. And of course, then there was Pixar, which was cartoon cars. So it's a combination. Pixar almost drove us nuts with detail. They sent the art directors down to, no, we have to have more of a cheeky smile. And cheeky doesn't make sense to me. Give me a measurement. You know, you want this side of the mouth 3/16 higher. That's what I deal with in numbers. They deal with art. So that was the most difficult as far as communication.
Eddie is an inventor and an innovator, but sometimes the studio deadlines can be a challenge, like the one he faced with Grease.
Grease Lightning, the white one that Travolta drove, my compressor broke down that night, and I had to have it ready for the next morning to be taken to the studio. So I went and got some house paint rollers, and rolled white paint on, and I thought, they're never going to call me again on the show to do anything, because you can't paint a car with a paint roller. They picked it up. The driver that picked it up kind of mentioned, you know, it's still wet, there's going to be bugs stuck in it. Took it to the studio. The next day, the director called and said, that was a great idea you had. And what are you talking about? And he goes, we didn't get the reflection of the cameras in the car. It was a flat white. We've never seen anybody do that before. And I thought, boy, I just dodged a bullet on that one.